So we will start the software engineering MCQ for your WBUT exam. So the first question, software engineering that primarily aims on, the answer is reliable and cost-effective software. Second question, the information hiding is to hide from user details that the correct option is that may be maliciously handled by him. That means information hiding is to hide from user data that may be maliciously handled by him. That's why you are hiding the informations. The third one, you can say which of the following software engineering concept does ADA language support, and ADA will support all of this. That means abstractions, generic information hiding. Question number 4, product is of course deliverable, which is not a product matrix. Question number 5, that is a productivity. If you say the product matrix, so this is the productivity, which is not a product matrix. UML, you know that, unified modeling language. That is one of the approach. There are lots of diagrams out there, collaborative use case diagram, activity diagram. It's all are under UML, Unified Modeling Language. The question number 7, prototyping is used to, of course, refine and establishing the requirement gathering. Question number 8, which one of the of this are not software maintenance activity, that is establishing scope? Options D. Regression testing is primarily related to maintenance testing, because regression testing is one, it is not an integration testing, and as well as it is not under the systems testing. It is actually, you can say, maintenance testing. Alpha testing is one of the systems testing where the test cases that are designed by the customer, whereas a beta that is defined by the developers, right? So question number 11, acceptance testing that is done by, also it is done by the customers, right? And psychometric complexity that is developed by MacPay, because there is MacPay complexity factor, psychometric complexity, by which you are concentrating on the independent part, and as well V plus E minus 2, that are the different types of softwares. We will see that later. So in 13, a COCOMO, that is the constructive cost model. CASE tool is, you can say, computer aided software engineering. Build and fix model that has, you can say, two phases. Top down design does not require, you can say, the loop invariance. Which model is simplest model in the software development? Of course, the waterfall model, that is the first model you understood. And in that case, design phase will usually be design phase. When we are designing phase, and of course, that will start from the top to down. SRAs, that is one of the important requirement. That is nothing but software requirement specifications. There are some characteristics of the SRA like correctness. You will just see, you will understand the thing. That is one of the important SRS. Now the question number 20, which phase is not available in software lifecycle? Of course, abstractions, that is object-oriented concept. Requirement elicitations, that actually means that not, you can say, requirement elicitation, that doesn't matter. Gathering of requirement, no. The capturing of requirement, no. Understanding of requirement, no. So the options, that is none of this. And what is first? FAST. And the first, that is first, you can say, felicitate application specification technique, right? And the context diagram that actually explain the overview, right? That will be the overview of the system. DFD, that is, that this particular term, that is the data flow diagram, that is the DFD. Questions number 25, in object oriented software design, inheritance, you can say, is a kind of relationship. 26. Project risk factor is considered in, of course, risk factor. This risk factor is considered in spiral model. That is one of the main important component of the spiral model. 27. Which one is not a requirement elicitations? The same it is that not a requirement elicitation, that is DFD. Level 0 is nothing but, context diagram is level 0. Which model is most popular for students? Small project, that is nothing but, you can say, quick and fix model. A major defect in waterfall model in software development is, you can say, that a trial version is available only at the end of the project. That is the problem. Function point metric, there are different 14 function points are there. You can say function point metric to a software also depends on, of course, the number of external input and output. If user participation is available, which model is to be chosen? Which model is to be chosen? That answer is, you can say, rate model. The approach to software testing is to design test cases. You can say analyze the output of the software. 34. Which one of the most important features of the spiral model? Ectogamma problem. The spiral model features is risk management. 35. That will be temporal cohesion. Temporal, that means time, right? So you can say temporal locality. You heard the name in cache memory. That is same as that. Temporal means time. That means that is cohesion with respect to time. So in 36, functional cohesions, that means the operations are part of a single functional stack and are placed in the same procedure. That is a functional cohesion. When two modules refer to the same global data area, you can say that is a common couple. Software quality, macros quality factor. You heard the name, that is requirement, confirmations, fitness, level of satisfaction. So all those. Beta testing, I already mentioned, that will be carried out. I think that particular testing that would be carried out by the users. That means the users use coach software. 40. During validations, the customer check the product, and there is a very important verifications and validations. Verifications, that mean checking the product with respect to specification. And you can say validation is checking the product with respect to customer expectations. That is the depending thing. So the first step of the implementation phase, that you can say implementation planning. Waterfall model, that has, you can say, 4 steps. Design phase, you can say, is followed by coding. Waterfall model, that is a linear purple high, and this is prototyping model, begin with, you can say, the coding part. And this is present in spiral model. Our key questions, that is the important questions. So risk analysis. Prototyping is preferred by, you can say, developer. It will start from the coding. The first step in system development life cycle, that is preliminary investigation and analysis. In prototyping, the following are used. That means all those things are used. Environment is system parlance refers to the. This is referred to a part that is outside the boundary. The big picture diagram of a system is, you can say, that is a system flowchart. And which of the following is not a factor in the failure of a system development project? You can say size of company, that an announcement of the MIS project is more to, you can say, appeal to the employees for cooperation. Spiral model is divided into, you can say, into six tasks. Spiral model is begins that with the customer communication, because you have to know the information. It's present in the, again, the same questions. That means you can say risk analysis, spiral model that will expand outwards clockwise. Which of the following would not be a major deliverable of the structure system analysis phase? That is the prototyping model. It will start from the coding. And this is the thing, the first step in the system development life cycle. The first step in the system development life cycle, that is primarily investigation and analysis. A system design aid should primarily help analyze both data and activities. Which of the following is not considered as a tool at the system designing phase? Pie chart. Which one of the following is or are a tool, are not a tool for application prototyping? That is a third generation language. The database be prepared until the computer has been selected. The software project planning involves, software planning involves software scope, resources, software component, hardware component. That means all of the above. The software sizing involves fuzzy logic sizing, FP size, function point sizing, changing sizing. That means all those above. In system design, we do which of the following? Which of the following? That is a parallel hardware and software. 69. This is not a part of a system design. That means this test subsystem. Test subsystem is not a part of this. 70. The model base cannot be prepared until until you can say the computer has been selected and the MI staff has been acquired and organized, both A and C. 71. During the system study, the executive vice president and the other managers exercise their responsibility of course, controlling. The question number 72. What type of software is most useful in financial planning and calculation? That is spreadsheet. Managers who are potential users of MIS, that you can say none of this. Problem analysis is done during the system analysis phase. Backup and recovery procedures are primarily implemented to handle the contingency when a file gets corrupted. Its pseudocode is an easy way to communicate the logic of a program. 77. In data flow diagram, an originator or the receiver of the data is usually designed by a square box. Which of the following represent processor activity, method, and procedure in a data flow diagram? That is nothing but the active diagram, or you can say this options number B. 79. Errors can be found by outsider during beta testing. That is the thing, outsider. And mm, that means there are some friendly customers and they are checking the test cases. So 80. A system analyst design a new system by identifying subsystems and interfaces between subsystems. 81. Rapid prototyping improves the quality of a design by having a program simulate the real system. Software testing is done to correct an error. Test cases, you have to generate the test cases, and test cases, by using test cases you are finding an error and you have to correcting the error. This is called the cyclomatic complexity, and that is nothing but V is nodes, edges like that. Cyclomatic complexity. You can also this can be this is number of edges. This is number of nodes plus two. Also, you can find it by number of regions also. So basis path testing. Basis path testing. You can say that is a white box testing. This is under 85 system specifications are used to get an accurate picture of the system, correct, describe the system flow, correct, avoid ambiguity, correct. That means all of the above. On the feasibility committee, department representative serves as all of the above. Top management is more interested in strategic decision. Procedure development occurs within the system building phase. 89. The main purpose of system investigation phase, you can say that is a feasibility report. A trunky package include software hardware training. System prototyping helps the designer in communicating to the user quickly how the system when developed will look like and get a feedback. 92. The reservation system of India Railway is an example of transaction processing system. Of course, here we are using the distributed database concept itself, but this is the transactions. 93. Structured design procedure produces computer programmers that are, you can say, easily and you can say maintain. That means both A and B. 94. The condition immediately outside a system. Immediately outside a system, that is called environment. 94. That is 95. A common reason for changing an information system is new requirement, of course, new technology, of course, problem in the existing system, all of the above. Mistakes made in the system analysis stage show up in, you can say, implementation. A considerations evaluated by management when planning to convert it to a computer system, that is maintenance. Which of the following is not a requirement of structured design? That is, it should use many go-to statement. 99 is not a type of control structure testing. Equivalence analysis, that is not a type of control structure technique. Various types of loops are simple loop, of course, concatenated loop, nested loops, all of the above. 101 does is, you can say, is a black box testing method. So of course boundary value analysis, that is a black box testing method. The processes at the most details level of the data flow diagram, more details level, you can say there is a functional primitives. On a system flowchart, the online manual keeping of input data is identified by using, you can say, online keyboard symbol. Which of the following is not a factor in the failure of the system development project? That is size of, you can say, the company. Which one of the following tools is not used for process description? That is nothing but data dictionary. This is 105. And in 106, which of the following is not a part of data flow diagram? Of course, disk storage. And which one of the following is not a characteristics of good test data? That is, users do not participate in the preliminary stage. The initiation of a system investigation may result from the manager's formal request, of course, analyzed investigation, of course, a scheduled system review, of course, all of the above. 109. Which of the following does not occur in phase 4 of the system development like SDLC? So you can say that is conduct interview, of course, that is not the part. 110. To reconstruct a system, which one of the following key elements must be considered? You can say, of course, feedback and environment, output, input, control, processor, all of the above. 111. Which of the following is a tool in design phase? Tool in designing phase. So, abstraction is also a tool. Refinement is also tool. Information hiding. This is a MSQ, we can say. 112. Information hiding is to hide from user data. And of course, the same question that at maliciously, that is the same questions, repeated questions. Structure programming codes include, that also include, you can say sequencing, it can alterations, iterations, that all are valid. 101. The extent to which the software can continue to operate correctly despite the introduction of invalid input. Invalid input, that is nothing but the robustness. So in that case, each of the following questions has two options, only A and B. You have to study the questions and mark A if the statement is true and mark B if the statement is false. A means true and B means false, right? A means that is true and you can say B means false. So the first is system flowchart is not a part of a program documentation package. Program documentations package. That means, of course, that is nothing but is true. So you can write A. That means true. 100, and there are some questions. Say 100 and you can say 52, right? So user documentations consist. I'm just giving this particular question. These questions are nothing but options are given A, B, C, D. So we have to just select which one is the correct. So 152, that is nothing but user documentations that consist of training manuals, operation manuals, and reference manuals. 152, to which phase of SDLC the file conversions related? That means system implementations. The main activity of design phase of the system lifecycle is to, you can say, the proposed alternative to the current system. You can say that during which phase the requirement analysis is performed, that is the system analysis phase. 150 is structured design methodology, an approach to design that adheres to rules based on principles such as, you can say, data flow analysis. In functional decompositions, the data flow diagram, you can say, its partitions according to the logical closeness of the actograms. 158, decision table is a way of representing multiple conditions. In decisions tree, the root is drawn on the left and is the starting point on the decision sequence. Which one of the following is not true of the conversions phase of the development life cycle? That is nothing but the documentation must be emphasized. And you can say 161, which of the following activity do not belong to the implementation phase of SDLC, that is program testing. In data flow diagram, an originator or receiver of data is usually designed by rectangle. The simplest model in software development, that is, you can say, waterfall model. In data flow diagram, a parallel line symbols, parallel lines, that means it is data store. Data has rest, a temporary repository of the data. Cost benefit analysis evaluates the tangible and non-tangible. Correct. Compares the cost with the benefits of interaction in computer-based system. That is correct. Estimate the hardware and software tools. All of the above. The computer in software engineering primarily aims on reliable and cost-effective, software. Which of the following would not be a major deliverable of the structure system analysis phase? That is prototyping model, that will start from coding. A data flow appears on the higher level DFD but not on the lower level values. So DFD, that is consistency guideline, the lowest level of documentation of a data flow diagram, that is level 0 DFD. Which of the item listed below is not one of the software engineering layers? Process, tools, methods, and the thing is manufacturing. That is not the software engineering layer. That's all. That means these are the corresponding MCQ that may come. So you just go through once.